So I'm now going to hand over to Kate Cook, who's going to talk to us about UN Business and Human Rights Committee, and also the report that she's written, and what the responsibilities are for law firms and lawyers in particular. So I'm going to hand over to you now, Kate.
I was asked to author a guide which has now been published by the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. You can see it there. It was published in 2019 and it's freely available on the web. So that guide looks at lawyers' responsibilities under the UN guiding principles on business and human rights. So that's the core of the framework that it looks at. And it focuses on agricultural investment and particularly on due diligence. So it's looking at the way in which, for example, tenure rights are affected by investment and how this translates into human rights issues. So I think the important starting point is that to remember that law firms are businesses in their own right. So they are also have responsibilities under the UN guiding principles on business and human rights, alongside their business clients, investors, and others who are investing in land or rights over land. That means that law firms must ensure that they meet their own responsibilities under the UN guiding principles, as well as advising the clients. And the core responsibility is obviously to respect human rights. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means in operational terms. This is a fast developing area. There are many international fora who are looking at these issues, both as business and human rights issues, and specifically in relation to land and investment. And as you can see there, the Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights is currently consulting on a new general comment on land and the Covenant on Economic and Social Rights, and is specifically addressing the question of the emerging human rights responsibilities of business enterprises, including investors. And of course, that also includes lawyers. So the guide, as I said, is freely available, and I'm just going to touch on a few key themes with a specific focus this evening on defenders.